My brothers and sisters, how many times have we lamented and complained and cried that the Muslims are enslaved and they are backward and they are labeled and they are blamed for things which they have not even done? How many times have we lamented and cried and complained that we used to be leaders in science and technology, but that was 300 years ago? How many times have we lamented and complained that Muslim society is ridden with all sorts of social evils? The question to you, would you like to change that? Because believe me, no amount of complaining is going to do any good. If you don't like what there is, you have to do something to change that. We are the world's greatest experts on a way of life called Islam. We are the people to whom the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was revealed. We are the Hamaleen al-Quran. We are the people who carry the Quran in our hearts, alhamdulillah. But the place for the Quran is not inside our heart alone. The place for the Quran is in our lives, in practice. That we seem to have forgotten. And therefore we have the ideology, we have the methodology, which is the Mubarak Sunnah of Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, but we have no tools to apply either the ideology or the methodology. And therefore today we live in a world where we know that to borrow on interest is haram, but we say we have no choice. Because we do not have a robust global economic model, a robust global financial system. Now that does not make it halal to borrow on interest. It does not make it halal to indulge in riba. But my question to myself and you is, how long does it take to create a robust global financial system? How long do you think? 10 years of intense research and development? 15 years? 20 years? 100 years? Does it take 14 centuries? Are you saying, am I saying that the Muslims are so stupid that 1400 years it takes them and they still cannot develop a usable system? I don't think so. I don't think we are so stupid. We are just lazy. We are just lazy. So what do? We invent excuses. So my submission to you, my brothers and sisters, is we need to change the focus from preserving knowledge by memorizing to preserving knowledge by practicing. I'm not saying we do not memorize. I'm saying we memorize and practice. To preserve from telling to demonstrating. We need to change from talking about what used to be to showing how to apply today. I was in one of the madaris, Hifz madaris in Hyderabad, where I come from and where I live. And the Hafeez, the Ustaz there, he told me, he said, please listen to one of the boys. And they were doing Hifz. So I asked the boy, I said, please read something. So he read the ayat of Surah-Ur-Rahman, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, مَرَجَ الْبَحْرَيْنِ يَلْتَقِيَانِ بَيْنَهُمَا بَرْزَقٌ لَا يَبْغِيَانِ. Allah said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who created the two oceans, one salty and one sweet, and between them there is a barrier. So I told the boy, I said, stop. He stopped. I said, what does it mean? He said, I have no idea. So that is the first part of the problem, which is that we memorize, we have no idea what we are saying. So I said, all right, no problem. I know it's not his fault. That's how he is taught, so what is he going to do? So I explained to him, I said, this is the meaning of the ayah. So he said, thank you very much, Sheikh. I said, very good. Now, I said, I've got a question. He said, yes. I said, where is this? Where is this? Now he looked at me blankly, he said, what kind of question is this? I mean, nobody ever in my life asked me this question. Where is this? So I said, where is it? He said, Sheikh, I don't know. So I asked his Ustad, I said, where is this? So he also looked at me, he said, even I don't know. So I said, no problem. You don't know, I have no problem with that. I've got one question more for you. He said, what? I said, did it ever occur to you to ask this question? You don't know is fine. But did you even think? Did you even ask Allah is saying something to me in the Quran. So where is this place? Maybe you never find that out in your whole life. Maybe you die with that question. But did you even ask that question? Did you even respond to the kalam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where He is talking about something which He considers to be important enough for us to know, and we don't even bother to ask? This is how it is, the Quran. If it was being taught like this in only that one madrasa in Hyderabad, it would be bad enough. But you know and I know this is how it is, the Quran, in most 99.999% of the places. How do you think a bunch of village Arabs without a culture, without a great civilization like the Egyptians or the Iranians, came out of the desert and conquered the world? How? How? In one generation. Sayyidina Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu was the same generation as Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. One generation. The same generation. They went from Al-Hijaz all the way up into Iraq, all the way up into Egypt, all the way up into Iran. Same generation. And the next generation went all the way into Europe and all the way on to the boundaries of India. And Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas radiallahu anhu, the uncle of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, went into China during the Khilafah of Uthman ibn Affan radiallahu anhu. How? Because of this book and because of the teachings of Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because they imbibed them, they integrated them, they lived them, they walked by them, and they became sources of guidance for the whole world.